The bridge of the Dauntless was a cauldron of urgency. Captain Rena Vasquez gripped the edge of her console, her knuckles white as the starship trembled under the relentless assault of the alien fleet. The once pristine bridge was now a chaos of flickering lights and crackling systems, a testament to the battle raging outside. "Incoming fire! Brace for impact!" Lieutenant Mark Sparks Davies shouted, his fingers flying over the control panel, desperately rerouting power to shield generators. Sparks' face was a mask of determination, his usually cheerful demeanor overshadowed by the gravity of their situation. "Shields at 50%! We can't take much more of this!" Talia Green, the young pilot, called out as she maneuvered the ship through a barrage of enemy plasma bursts. Her hands danced over the controls, her face set in a determined scowl. She was a promising talent, thrust into the heart of this battle far earlier than she'd anticipated. "Captain, the alien armada is closing in fast. They've outnumbered us 10-1. We need to make a decision now," Sparks said, his voice steady but tinged with an edge of panic. Vasquez's eyes, cold and focused, scanned the tactical display. The image of the alien fleet loomed large, a stark contrast to their lone ship. "Prepare for a blind jump. We're heading into the asteroid field. It's our only chance." Sparks and Talia exchanged worried glances but nodded in unison. The crew moved swiftly, each member understanding the weight of their tasks. The Dauntless shuddered violently as it altered course, plowing into the asteroid field with a roar of protest from its damaged engines. "Engaging jump thrusters in 3, 2, 1. Vasquez's voice cut through the din as the ship lurched into hyperspace, streaks of starlight blurring into a smudged tapestry of colors. The familiar whine of the engines gave way to an eerie silence, broken only by the sporadic beeps and alerts of the ship's systems. The bridge lights dimmed, casting long shadows that danced across the walls. The crew exchanged looks of anxious relief as they prepared for the next phase of their plan. "We made it," Talia said, her voice trembling slightly as she wiped sweat from her brow. "But we're not out of the woods yet. The asteroids will hide us for now, but they'll be searching." Vasquez nodded, her mind racing through strategies and contingencies. "Sparks, give me a status report on the ship's systems. I want everything functioning at maximum efficiency for when we emerge." Sparks nodded, already immersed in his work. "On it, Captain. We're down to minimal reserves, but I'll push every system to its limit. We're not giving up yet." Vasquez's gaze shifted to the viewport, where the asteroid field loomed like a dark labyrinth. The scene outside was a chaotic dance of massive rocks and debris, their surfaces scarred and rugged. The Dauntless weaved between them, a small but defiant presence against the overwhelming forces of the alien armada. As the ship's engines hummed quietly, Vasquez allowed herself a moment of reflection. This mission had started as a simple reconnaissance, but it had become a desperate fight for survival. The alien fleet, with its advanced technology and superior numbers, seemed insurmountable. Yet, as long as they drew breath, the Dauntless would resist. "We need to get that intelligence to command," Vasquez said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. "It's the key to turning this war around." The crew, united by their shared peril and unwavering loyalty to each other, braced for the battles yet to come. The asteroid field would offer temporary sanctuary, but it was only a matter of time before the enemy closed in again. As the Dauntless drifted through the field, the crew's resolve solidified. They were fighting not just for their own survival, but for the future of humanity. With a final glance at the dark, shifting expanse of the asteroid field, Vasquez set her jaw and prepared for the next phase of their desperate mission. The Dauntless would face its trials with courage and determination. For now, it was a small flicker of hope in a universe that seemed determined to snuff it out. The Dauntless drifted through the labyrinth of the asteroid field, its damaged hull creaking as the ship navigated the treacherous terrain. The silence of the field was a stark contrast to the chaos they had just escaped. Captain Rena Vasquez paced the bridge, her thoughts a tangled mess of strategy and uncertainty. "Captain, we've evaded the fleet for now, but we can't stay hidden forever." Lieutenant Mark Sparks Davies reported, his fingers tapping urgently on the console. His normally bright eyes were now focused with grim determination, the weight of their situation clear in his expression. Vasquez turned to face him, her gaze steady. "How's the status of our systems, Sparks?" "Engines are operating at minimal efficiency," Sparks replied, glancing at the array of flickering screens. "Shields are down to 30%, and we're running on emergency power. We need to repair the damage if we're going to survive this." Ensign Talia Green, the ship's young pilot, spoke up from her seat. "The asteroid field is providing some cover, but it's also a maze. We're constantly adjusting course to avoid collisions." Vasquez nodded, her eyes scanning the viewport where asteroid debris drifted past like ominous specters. "We'll have to use this field to our advantage. Sparks, get those repairs done as fast as you can. Talia, keep us moving and stay alert for any incoming threats." As Sparks and Talia set to work, Vasquez moved to her command chair, her mind racing through potential scenarios. The alien fleet would be relentless, and the Dauntless' only hope lay in using the asteroid field to outmaneuver them. "Captain, I've detected an energy surge from the edge of the field," Talia announced, her voice tense. "It's faint, but it might be another ship." Vasquez's heart skipped a beat. "Could it be the enemy?" "Possibly," Talia said, her fingers flying over the controls as she adjusted their sensors. "Or it could be another ship in distress. Either way, we need to investigate." Vasquez weighed the risks. Investigating could expose them to further danger, but it might also present an opportunity. "Prepare a recon drone. We need to know what we're dealing with before making any decisions." Sparks looked up from his console. "Captain, I'm almost done with the repairs. We'll have the systems back online soon." "Good," Vasquez replied. "Keep pushing, Sparks. We need every advantage we can get." The recon drone launched silently, disappearing into the asteroid field's depths. Moments later, the feed came through, showing a damaged alien scout ship drifting among the rocks. Its hull was scorched and pitted, and the distress signal was unmistakable. "It's an alien ship," Talia confirmed. "But it's not moving. It looks like it's been abandoned or is too damaged to operate." Vasquez studied the feed, her mind racing. This could be an opportunity. "Prepare to board the scout ship. We might find useful information or technology that can help us." As the crew prepared for the boarding mission, the tension was palpable. Each member of the team knew the risks but understood the potential rewards. The asteroid field continued its silent watch, the occasional rumble from distant impacts reminding them of the ever-present danger. "Be cautious," Vasquez advised as the team assembled in the airlock. "We don't know what we'll find. Stay alert and make sure to get in and out quickly." With a final nod, the team moved out, stepping into the unknown darkness of the alien scout. The sense of urgency was overwhelming. Every second counted as they ventured into the damaged vessel. As the team navigated through the eerie quiet of the alien ship, the stakes of their mission weighed heavily on their shoulders. The Dauntless waited, a fragile beacon of hope in a sea of hostile space. The alien scout ship's dimly lit corridors echoed with the creaking of its twisted hull, amplifying the crew's sense of vulnerability. The next few moments could turn the tide of their desperate struggle, or spell their doom. The interior of the alien scout ship was a maze of alien technology and derelict machinery. Dim, flickering lights barely illuminated the jagged metal corridors, casting long shadows that danced eerily on the walls. The air was thick with the scent of burned ozone and the faint tang of something metallic and acrid. "Stay close and keep your eyes open," Captain Rena Vasquez ordered as she led the boarding team through the wreckage. Her voice, steady despite the tension, was meant to calm the nerves of her team. Each step echoed in the empty corridors, a stark reminder of the dangers they faced. Lieutenant Mark Sparks Davies, crouched over a portable scanner, swept the device across the walls. "There's definitely energy still flowing through some parts of this ship, but it's sporadic. We need to find the main control room." Ensign Talia Green, her helmet's visor reflecting the dim light, kept a watchful eye on their surroundings. "Captain, I'm picking up faint signals coming from deeper in the ship. They might be from life support systems or some kind of distress beacon." Vasquez nodded. Lead the way, Talia. And Sparks, keep an eye on those readings. We don't want any surprises. As they advanced, the ship's interior revealed a disturbing mix of advanced technology and primitive design, a testament to the alien race's disparate development stages. The walls were lined with strange, pulsating lights and alien symbols, their meaning an enigma to the human crew. The corridor they navigated twisted and turned, the layout confusing and disorienting. The team reached a large chamber, its walls covered with alien script and strange devices. In the center, a large console hummed faintly, a flickering holographic display projecting alien data across the room. Sparks approached the console cautiously. This looks like the main control hub. I'll see what I can get from it. Vasquez stood watch, her senses heightened. Be quick. We don't know how long we'll be safe here. Sparks worked rapidly, his fingers dancing over the alien interface. Captain, I'm accessing their data banks. There's a lot here, but it's mostly encrypted. Talia's eyes scanned the chamber nervously. Captain, I'm detecting movement on the sensors. It's faint, but it's coming from the direction we just came from. Vasquez's heart quickened. We need to finish up quickly and get out of here. Sparks, how long until you've decrypted something useful? Just a few more minutes, Sparks replied, his concentration evident in his furrowed brow. I'm trying to bypass the encryption. There's a lot of critical data here, but I think I've found something. Suddenly, a loud clang echoed through the chamber, followed by the shrill wail of an alien alarm. The team's nerves were instantly on edge. They've found us! Talia shouted, her voice sharp with fear. Vasquez's eyes met Sparks. How much longer? Got it! Sparks exclaimed, pulling a data drive from the console. I've extracted some valuable intel. Let's move! The team turned to flee, but the corridors were now alive with movement. Alien patrols, their dark forms outlined against the chaotic backdrop of the ship's failing systems, converged on their location. The sound of approaching footsteps grew louder, each step reverberating through the metal hull. Run! Vasquez ordered as the team sprinted through the labyrinthine corridors. The ship seemed to close in on them, the once navigable pathways now a chaotic maze of twisting turns and dead ends. The crew raced through the alien ship, their breaths ragged and their hearts pounding. Vasquez led the charge, her mind focused on escape. The narrow passages seemed endless, each turn potentially leading to their doom. As they reached the airlock, Vasquez glanced back at the dark, pulsating corridors. The alien ship's eerie hum was now accompanied by the distant roar of alien engines powering up. We need to get out of here, now! With a final burst of energy, the team boarded the Dauntless and sealed the airlock behind them. The ship's engines roared to life, and the crew watched through the viewport as the alien scout receded into the distance. The tension in the Dauntless was palpable as the crew took stock of their situation. The alien scout's data was crucial, but their narrow escape had left them with little time to celebrate. Report, Vasquez demanded, her voice taut with authority. Sparks, catching his breath, handed over the data drive. We've got what we came for. The information on this drive could be the key to turning the tide in this war. Vasquez took the drive and looked at her crew, their faces reflecting a mixture of exhaustion and determination. We've survived this far, and we've gained something valuable. Let's make sure it counts. As the Dauntless maneuvered away from the asteroid field, the crew knew that their journey was far from over. The data they had secured would be crucial in the battles to come, but they would need to stay vigilant. The alien fleet was still out there, and their fight for survival was just beginning. The Dauntless drifted into a quiet corner of space, far from the chaotic battlegrounds they had recently navigated. The ship's crew, weary but resolute, gathered in the briefing room to debrief and strategize. The atmosphere was tense, a reflection of the high stakes that lay ahead. Captain Rena Vasquez stood at the head of the table, the data drive from the alien scout ship in her hand. The room's dim lighting cast long shadows across her face, highlighting the fatigue and determination etched into her features. All right, everyone. We've got crucial intel to review. Sparks, you've had a chance to analyze the data. What did we find? Lieutenant Mark, Sparks, Davies, his uniform slightly disheveled but his focus sharp, stepped forward. The data confirms our worst fears. The alien fleet is planning a major offensive, targeting a key strategic location, our home sector. If they succeed, they'll cripple our defenses and put countless lives at risk. A hush fell over the room. Ensign Talia Green's face paled as the implications sank in. If they attack our home sector, we could lose everything. Families, entire colonies. Vasquez nodded gravely. We can't let that happen. We need to act fast. Sparks, what's our best course of action? Sparks hesitated before responding. We've intercepted communications that suggest a large fleet is gathering at a nearby system. If we can get there before they launch their assault, we might be able to disrupt their plans. But it'll be risky. Vasquez turned to her crew, her eyes meeting each of theirs. We don't have the luxury of time. We need to rally any available forces and launch a preemptive strike. Talia, start plotting a course. Sparks, coordinate with command and prepare for a potential engagement. The crew sprang into action, their movements quick and precise. Talia's fingers flew over the navigation console, plotting a course through the treacherous space between them and the alien fleet. Sparks communicated with command, relaying the urgency of their situation and requesting reinforcements. As the ship prepared for departure, the sense of impending conflict was palpable. The crew, though exhausted, was unified by their shared purpose. They knew that their actions in the coming hours could determine the fate of countless lives. The Dauntless accelerated away from their hiding spot, its engines roaring with renewed power. The ship cut through the stars, the crew's anxiety palpable as they approached the alien fleet's staging area. Captain Vasquez stood at the viewport, her gaze fixed on the distant stars. We've got one chance to make this count. Once we engage, there's no turning back. Sparks joined her, his expression resolute. Captain, the reinforcements are en route, but we'll need to hold the line until they arrive. I've been working on a few tactical adjustments that might give us an edge. Vasquez nodded, a fierce determination in her eyes. We'll make do with what we have. We've faced impossible odds before and come out on top. This time will be no different. As the Dauntless neared the enemy system, the crew's preparation reached its final stages. The ship was a hive of activity, each member focused on their role. The tension was electric, every moment bringing them closer to the critical confrontation that awaited. The first glimpse of the alien fleet appeared on the sensors, an imposing mass of warships and support vessels, their dark silhouettes forming a menacing backdrop against the backdrop of distant stars. The scale of the threat was immense, but the crew of the Dauntless stood ready. Engage at my signal, Vasquez commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. The crew nodded in unison, their faces set with determination. As the Dauntless prepared to engage the alien fleet, the stakes had never been higher. The battle to come would test their courage, strategy, and resolve. But for Captain Vasquez and her crew, there was no turning back. They were humanity's last hope against an overwhelming force, and they would fight with everything they had. With the alien fleet in their sights, the Dauntless charged forward, ready to make a stand against the encroaching darkness. The fate of their home sector, and perhaps humanity itself, hung in the balance. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I promise you, nothing will happen to your finger.